That's what I'm saying.
You gotta hit that Dante's boxing.
Hi, I'm Brianna, and you're watching Dante's Boxing.
So how we looking?
Looking good. Yeah, looking really good. 163 punches in the 9th round with a fresh guy. That's a lot of punches.
I guess that means you guys will be ready for anything at the end of this year then.
Yeah, we'll be ready for anything. We can fight it. We can fight in 4 weeks. We can fight in 4 weeks right now. We've been working periodically, pretty much keeping it at a good level for 5-6 weeks or more already, you know. Basically just he stayed active year round, so even after the fight he was back in. We started bringing in a sparring partner 2 weeks ago. This is the 3rd sparring partner in 3 weeks, so we ready. We could go in a month. That's easy.
Anybody else you guys planning on working with?
It depends. You know, if we find out who we fighting, then we can specifically do what we want to do. But right now, some of the people that I'm thinking about or have been looking at, a couple guys out of New York, Frank Galarza, Brandon Adams, some other guys might be somebody to look at. Brad, what's Brad's last name?
Solomon?
Brad Solomon. These are some different guys, different looks, hand speed, movement. This guy's giving us a lot of good stuff right now. Just hope he can hold up.
That's what it is. You know, and hopefully we get an announcement in the next week or so.
Yeah, absolutely.
So y'all won't be sitting over here just working and not knowing who the next opponent is, right?
Well, that's how we always work, so we all right with that. But once we know, then we can turn it up. It's just to keep the flame just there, just above warm. And then once we find out who it is, we can turn it up.
Did I ever ask you to compare the opponents? What's the difference between Keith Thurman and Danny Garcia?
I think it's a big difference. I think Keith is definitely a harder puncher. I think he's got better movement. I think Danny, on the other side, is more accurate with his punches. He likes to throw punches in between your shots. So he's, you know, more the intelligent type fighter. Keith is more the physical, athletic type fighter. The best fighter, boxer out of all of them, Shawn. You know what I mean? If I thought anything less, I'm the keep it real dude. I'll tell you, we got a lot of work to do. We don't got a lot of work to do. We got a lot to work with right now. We got a lot that we can continue to work on, but we got a lot to work with.
What do you mean, though? Since you said it, what do you mean you said you got a lot of work to do?
No, if I thought Shawn was a lesser fighter, I'd say we had a lot of work to do. We don't have a lot of work to do. We got a lot to work with right here, and we just continue to work. You know what I mean? Those guys are not. I'm not preparing for them. He got to deal with me. I'm a much more complete package that he got to deal with than both of them guys combined. So I'm bringing more to the table for him to have to deal with than they can bring to the fight.
Shawn, let me ask you the same question. If you could compare Keith Thurman to Danny Garcia, I mean, how would you compare them? Who's better, who's more complete, and why?
I think Keith is more complete. I've seen more of Keith than I have of Danny, to be honest with you. But just looking at it from an athletic standpoint, we see a kid in Keith who has tremendous power. We've seen it. Speed can try to outbox people from the outside, and at times will actually move around the ring and use the whole ring. So you have Danny, who is more of a straight-ahead fighter, more of a fighter who likes to stand in the middle of the ring, and I can't knock that at all, because there are points in this sparring session where I'm like, come see me in the middle of the ring, because that's where the real action is. You know, that's a fight when you have two guys that come right here and they fight. You know, so I think there's more game planning to be done with Keith Thurman than there is with Danny And the good part about it is if, you know, this is what we do. You come in the ring with something completely different. There's got to be light bulbs. They're all in the corner and they're in the ring, and we're figuring out right away, you know. So I think Keith is a little bit more versatile with the things he can do in the ring, and I think Danny is just a tad bit less dangerous because he's more of a straight-ahead fighter.
Interesting.
I believe that the biggest fight of this year is going to be Shawn and Keith Thurman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
All right. Thanks for your time, man.
Thank you.